All right, good. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Good morning, good morning.
Motivation Mondays, week 80. Wow, it's crazy. Good morning, my brother.
Good morning.
You got to move the mic. You got to see the Master Speaker logo. Live and direct branding.
Branding at all costs. Branding like always.
Good morning, everybody. Hey, Tima. And how you doing? I'm gonna put our topics in there, but like always, I always tell everybody, make sure you send this out to your immediate circle. Send this out to 5 people right now. We are also live on YouTube right now. YouTube live. So if you're in the comfort of your home, you can check us out on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe. Good morning, guys. Hope everyone had an amazing weekend. Let me get these topics in today. We'll get right to it.
Once again, we're on YouTube Live. Check it out. If you cannot be on your phone.
Hey Tashani, happy belated birthday as well to you. Toombs, we got a lot of Libras in here. Your season's almost done. Actually, no, it is done. I'm about to say it is done. Scorpio season, you guys know already how it gets, man. We've been counting down since the beginning. Max.
Yes, sir. Yes.
How's your weekend, though?
Wasn't too bad. Productive. It's, they're changing the weather. Started raining last night. The days go by so fast lately.
Yeah, man.
Sorry to keep up.
We're almost there. We're in that 4th quarter right now, so it's we're trying to end off strong. Paul, what's good, my brother? I know we got a link. Shout out to you for the juices. Put your company in here as well too. He has some juices that work for the cleansing, so we're trying to work on 1-2 things. She's unapologetic. How you doing? All right, there we go. Let me pin this in right here. Say that again, brother. All right, bet. I'm also gonna put the link in the in our live so people can see it. TK, how you doing? You came super clutch right now. There it is, Bev Vibe Juicery. So make sure you guys check it out. Let me put this in right here. All right, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, send this out to 5 people right now. Click that arrow button. Whoever you share your memes with, positive vibes, anything positive, make sure you send this out. Brother, sister, uncle, does not matter. Anybody in your immediate circle as we get ready to speak about our topics today. But before we do that, how was your Sundays? How was your overall?
Yesterday we had to come in, put in that overtime work. You cannot just work hours. Sometimes you have to put in that extra calling, to do what it is you got to do, right? That's what we mean by overtime if you want it bad enough.
I saw, so crazy. I know your Eagles aren't doing too well, but I saw they actually they almost made a comeback yesterday. Right at the end. A little bit too late, but they almost made that
I think
comeback.
we're going to hang it up this season.
Oh, man.
We're going to hang it up already.
You guys 2-4, 2-5?
2-5. That's it. Let's hang it up. Next year.
No, there's always next year. All right, guys, but our topics today, we have the power of manifestation and what comes with it. Dealing with life. We know you had your gems of the week yesterday, so we'll speak on that. And then ending off the year, right? As we go into the last couple of days of October and we get into the greatest month of the year, November, then we got December. So, we're going to talk about how we're going to end the year off strong. I see, I got to add that in there right now. We actually have 2 people in life. We got people born in November and people who wish they were born in November. So that's one of the new things.
We're not going to get into. Don't worry, ladies and gentlemen. Don't worry.
Shout out to my boy Dookie Dukes. Had the calculated steps going on this morning. But let's get into it. The power of manifestation and what comes with it. Yesterday is actually Drake made this post that I want to read out loud, and it had a couple of things. So he talks about back in 2007, he used to have a Rolls Royce that he would drive around. He wanted the city to think that they were superstars, and at that time having a car like that was very important. So he would spend about like $5,000 a month on just renting this car to go everywhere, so people would be like, yo, in Canada these guys are the guys, because Rolls Royce is one of those trucks that have a meaningful impact in the industry. And then he also talked about the main thing I loved about what he talked about is not making sure, like, he wouldn't advise anybody to go through any financial burdens to get where they want to go, but understand that manifestation, it comes with a lot. Like, maybe you might have to dress things a certain way, but the best thing about that, what I loved, was the research. So he did enough research to understand what was needed in his industry, what was needed in whatever he needed to accomplish as an artist, and did those things. And then last night, they bought him the actual truck that he used to rent out. So he used to rent out in 2007, and he finally bought it in 2021. And he said, yo, manifestation complete. Because when he became an artist, this was the biggest thing to him. So I wanted to bring that up. And how do you feel like that? Because the one thing that was from that was the fact that he was going through a little financial burden. It wasn't the right thing to do, but he understand the impact of what it was to help him become that biggest artist. And clearly, let me see, 2010, 13 years later, he's the biggest artist in the world.
Well, yeah, like you just said, the sacrifice, right? The manifestation. You have to believe in yourself more than anybody could believe in you. I'm sure that prior to, he had the naysayers that kind of told him this won't work, this can't be, but he took it upon himself to make sure that it can be. So the power of manifestation, sometimes it's only you that believes in what you're saying. You won't get everybody on your side. So to go back in full circle and then to get gifted that is to cherish the moment, live in the moment.
And one thing that you talked about is like, even though people may not, see the same vision as you, I guess, relating it back to them, they had a team that was very strong in every core. And why I brought up the research is Jake always talks about, like, before he became that artist, even when he was an actor, Degrassi, he made sure he understand who the greats were, what came with, a certain team and what you needed. And clearly it worked out for him. So how do you feel like in life when people are trying to build a team, it's important in understanding each other and understanding the main goal and vision? Because we're all individuals, we're all our own human beings. So like, maybe everyone won't see that vision, but how do you get everyone to kind of see the same vision to correlate to see? Because not everyone's going to stay the course, but it's about having that main core that could take you to the next level.
Well, yeah, it's about everybody understanding their purpose on the team, right? Not everybody could be the top scorer. Not everybody could play the same position. It's about working with each other and knowing the steps that each of us need to take so we could formulate an actual plan and let our plan come into fruition. So, everybody wants to be a leader when it comes to a team. Everybody wants a top role. Everybody wants to be the one in control, but it's not so much. The true leadership is understanding everybody's role. And even if you're the group of leader, it doesn't necessarily mean you're the person in power. You could just be the sign that you're the person who's better at communicating. Who's better at brainstorming. The whole point is understanding each other and understanding the purpose that we all play into getting where it is we need to get to.
And I want to give a big shout out to Agapi, who's the executive director at C Toronto. She's actually the one who coordinated everything with John Tory when we did that conversation for Black History Month. So I'm going to manifest this because C Toronto, we do need to collaborate with Motivation Mondays. So I'm manifesting it right now and putting it out in the universe. So we'll talk about that later. But shout out to everybody who is, a part of a team, whether, what role. And also I realize when it comes to teamwork is, being okay with whatever position is, even if you're behind the scenes. Not everybody is going to be on the forefront. For instance, with us, we have a lot of people that are behind the scenes, like Wavy's our tech guy in the background. Talise is there to make sure everything is organized when we do our notes and stuff, but everybody plays their important roles. How important is it in understanding everybody's strengths and weaknesses?
Well, that's the only way that you could get the team moving, like I illustrated earlier. It would be difficult for you to put somebody at a task that's not good. Hey, I'll tell you what, I couldn't be the one behind the computer screen. I know I'm not too tech savvy, right? To understand my strengths, to understand my weaknesses is the only way. If everybody's trying to play the exact same role, if everybody wants to be the head of the body, who's going to take the steps for us to move forward? Like, who's going to feed the body? So when we form a team, it's just like the human body, you decide what's more important. Is the fingers more important than toes? Is the ankle what it is? It's all needed to move as a unit in one. So I think it's all needed. So understanding each weakness and strengths and putting people in the position to win. Right? That's the thing about teams. And it's not so much as being critics of other people if they can't do nothing, but let people share their strengths with them. Let them know their weakness. They could work on their weakness. It could be something part-time, but put people in the position to win.
So when it comes to people's skills, pros, weaknesses, strengths, is it one thing where you ask people in advance, or is it through months and weeks and understand, okay, this person's good at this? Like, how do you get it where everyone's being honest with each other?
Well, the great thing is starting something with people that you know, with your friends, and well, you kind of have the background story. If not, then you're stuck analyzing, and all of us do it. We tend to emphasize on our skills. You know, I think we're the perfect, especially me. You know what I mean? But you gotta know, like you gotta know where you stand.
He knows
you gotta
himself.
Know,
He's really
no. I could do it if I put my mind to it. Manifestation, but. Yeah, so when you come on a team, everybody wants to be the captain, the coaches, whatnot. But through understanding, through trials and tribulations, through practice, experience, gathering, you're able to see this. Like, hey, I think you're great at this. You know, it'd be better if you do this and I could do this. I'm not really good at this. Can you help me with this kind of a thing? So that varies. If you have friends that you've known for a while, through to numerous of times, and you guys hanging out, you'll be able to dissect that. But if not, it's about understanding each other, you know?
And I love what a gap you put on it. She said, get a skills metric. So I brought that up on my computer real quick. And the skills metric is, you know, you measure people of their performances based on what they have learned. So it's like putting them through training. Yep. So I think training is a big one. Having everybody understand, like, okay, if this is what we're doing, we're going to train to become, like, you know, having examples, having leaders or people who have done exactly what you're doing, and then you based off of people's performances. And then by that, you could see who's good at what, and then, you know, you can let them stay in that role, or maybe there's something else they could do because it's too much of a role. But it's everybody coming to an understanding to understand the main goal at the end of the day. So I think that is very important. And, you know, when it comes to manifestation, there's a lot that comes with it. You know, seeing is believing. You can speak it to the universe. It's one of those great things is when you put it into the universe now has that crazy way of aligning things. But there's the action. You got to take action. And you're a firm believer of, you know, walking the walk and also talking the talk.
Well, action is a true measure of intelligence. I don't care how great your plan is. And that's from Winston Churchill. He said action is a true measure of intelligence. If I'm not mistaken, I think it's Albert Einstein, one of those greats. But yes, action is the true measure of intelligence. You could plan and plan all you want, but until you have put that plan into action, we don't know how good your plan is, right? So you could give all yourself the pat on the back and how great of a plan that you have, but what good is a plan if it just stays on a piece of paper, on a blueprint, right? It's about taking your plan, turn it into action so that you could see your manifestation come to light.
And you know, we've talked about it on other episodes where it's like, you know, the power of the tongue is very, very important. So we got to watch what we say and try our best to speak positive things, you know, as soon as we wake up, as soon as, you know, we're having conversations. I know that saying where it's like, if you don't have nothing nice to say to anybody, just don't say it. And you know, it's so funny. I used this the other day. Actually yesterday, I was telling us about an incident that happened. I was telling people, if you have anything negative to say something, also try to say something positive. And I learned that from you.
Yep. I always say for each negative thing we say to somebody, try to say two things positive, right? For each negative thing, try to say two things that are positive. So before you critique something, point out what you're good at. Because some people, we're also defensive. We all do it. Somebody might come from a good place and say, I think you think that, hey, they're judging you. But out of respect for you being able to see all the negative, what they lack of, also see the positive. Hey, so-and-so, I love this for you. I know you're great at this and this, that, but let's look over here for a sec. You know, this is what I believe. I think if you work on this, I see better for you, or I see more in you than what it is that you see in yourself. So for each negative things that we say to somebody, let's try to say something positive. If you're quick to see all the negative, we don't need your opinion, right? How could you dissect? You're coming from a dark place. How could you only see the dark things, right? So before, and I know the world is negative. I say this all the time. Those are the things that we grasp upon. Those are the things that we seek out the most. Those are the things that's kind of like shock to our brain because we're not all perfect. We like to think that we are. We're far from perfect. So for each negative thing you have to say about something or somebody, please make sure that you say two things that are positive.
And I think it's so important that people also understand what constructive criticism is and how to receive it and understand it. Because, you know, more times when people are telling us about themselves, they're coming from a good place. Because if it wasn't the case, they wouldn't even open their mouth to waste whatever they had to say. So I think constructive criticism is a big thing. But people have a hard time dealing with it too, because people don't really like to hear about themselves.
No. We all don't like to face the mirror. We think we know ourselves more than we do, but man, I wonder how we treat ourselves if we're dealing with ourselves outside of the body. Like, we just like to think we have it all figured out. Nothing is our fault. Everything's all situational. That's how humans are, but
We'll get into more of that on the psychology part of how the human brain and mind things that we also talk about. But I encourage everybody to I know there's a lot of people here for sure. Manifestation, you guys know it's real. I know for sure, Max, you can speak on stuff that you've manifested and it's come full circle. I can also do the same. But do you remember a time where it took a long time for something that you manifested that it came to fulfill?
Well, what is long? Like, what is long by what I mean by what is time? Time is like, it's inevitable. It's going to happen. Like, we want it faster than later. We want it sooner than later. I mean, for instance, when I was able to purchase my first property, I manifested about age 24. It didn't happen until about age 28, 29. 4 years. And some people manifested a home in 3 months and got it. So, it's all about what works best for you, understanding self. Like, you have your own time. Right? So we should not worry too much about how long it takes, about the process. Eventually you will get there. If you do what it is that you need to do, you get what it is that you want to have.
And I think that's the main point that's there. Doing what you need to do to have what you want. Because we can want everything in the world, but there's certain things that we're going to have to do if we want to get these things, whether it's the finer things, goals, house, properties, fixing our credit, a lot of these things. So I think, manifestation, huge. It's important. Let's practice these things, and let's work hard for the things that we want in life. Understand that it's not going to be easy. If it was easy, everybody would be doing it.
Life don't give you what you want. It gives you what you deserve, and by what you deserve is the work that you put in. That's how life works. And sometimes you might not get in the work that you put in. Understand that it's about equal opportunities, not equal outcome. Like I said, some people manifest to getting the property in a matter of months. They got it. I manifested, took years, right? But I still got it, right? It's about the process. I'm gonna say it again. Life don't give you what you want. It gives you what you need.
And understanding that
what you deserve. Sorry, not what you need, because you're not getting what you need. More like what you deserve. So the fruits of you can't cheat the grind. The fruits of your labor. You don't gotta convince me what it is that you're contributing your life to every day, right? If you're committed to something, eventually results will show. If all the results that you want are not showing up in your life, and everything that is you're getting the total opposite, I ask you to go look at what it is that you're putting time into.
And I love, Joyce, what you just said. The universe is always listening. Feel, speak, and write your manifestations, and focus on the good. Visualize it too. And visualizing is important. That's why we always talk about, when it comes to like a lot of people who put some of the stuff on their screensavers. When you go to workplaces, people have the things that keep them happy and what keeps them motivated. And we always talk about having a vision board, and like also updating and changing it. There's people I know who do every vision boards every 3 months, 6 months, quarterly. So let's practice these things. So that's very, very important and a major key. My boy Peck's so funny. We met up yesterday and we were talking about, finally doing things, group economics, getting together, like let's put our money together to get some property. And he's one of the guys who started early in our circle, and he's now trying to like pass it down to the guys. And I appreciate that. And I know all the rest of the guys that are in our core circle, we commend people that are like that. Group economics, we'll talk about that another day, but I know we've always...
I encourage it. Some people, it's tough to count on people in this day and world, but, there's a video that was trending that says, find people that you trust and go along with them. Go for the long ride with them. It's about core understanding. And by that means, understand that we're not all equal. Understand personality, because we deal with each other every day. Like, we deal with so many other people's emotions, so we must take an account in understanding other people's personality. But yes, find somebody you trust and go along that journey with them, because it's easier to say, let's go do it. Right? Most of the things that we ever done, it was let's go do it. There's a sense of accountability. There's an extra boost of energy that picks us up and let us act upon our plans and ideas. Because by yourself, sometimes it might be a little difficult. And by yourself, you can make all the excuse. Right? But if I say I'm going to be there at 3, I'm waiting for you. Chances are, if you didn't want to go, and if you're by yourself at 3, you're going to start making excuses. I'll go at 4. But now, because Max said, let's go do it, Max is waiting for you at 3. And it could be it's the same side for both parties. Now, I know I got to be there because I told my brother Ebone, let's meet at 3. So I'm not making an excuse for both of us. I know somebody's counting to see me at 3. So it's an extra push that we need, the external motivation. Sometimes it's difficult. Internal motivation is the best motivation that we can have, but sometimes we do need that external motivation. And that's what that does. Group economics, holding each other accountable.
How important is that? You brought up that time. How important is respecting time and like when you are doing things together collectively? Because we were talking about teamwork and group work. Respecting time and respecting like what it comes with. Because I think once you can like grasp that aspect of respecting time, then a lot of things you'll be able to accomplish.
Well, if you committed yourself to a group or anything, don't disappoint other people. You may disappoint yourself, which I said last week. Nobody has disappointed you more than you disappointed yourself. But when people are counting on you, right? When people are counting on you, hold yourself a higher standard than what anybody else expect of you. Come through like you expect them to come through for you, right? Treat people with dignity and respect, and you go a very long way.
So just to shout out to everybody who's here. We are also live on YouTube Live. So shout out to everybody who's streaming or viewing right now. If you're in the comfort of your home, you can make sure you get the YouTube channel on. Make sure you subscribe. And we're also doing this on live. We also have the IG Live to encourage people as well to know that we're on YouTube Live. As we're trying, as you can see, we have our whole setup, the logo. Even we got the trees in the background, getting some oxygen vibes out here. Max's speaker got the logo, but we are working on bettering things, and everything takes time. We just didn't do this wake up and then boom.
Yeah. It's about progress. Step one, moving on to step two. And along the way, things might get difficult, but stay the course. But yes, sir, like we do on IG Live, if you're watching from YouTube, you take comments, give us feedback, your response. What are we talking about? What it is that you want to talk about? Question and answer. We answer them as we go along. We have both IG on and YouTube on, so we can see in the comment section. Just go ahead, send out your questions. That hasn't changed. Remember, this platform is from us to you guys to give you what you guys want.
So before we wrap up our manifestation, is there any cons to manifestation? Like, could there be any cons? Like, if do you think so?
Yes, it can be. Right. Don't let your mouth delude your mind. Right. Be careful what you say to yourself. If you're not acting, you're now creating an atmosphere for yourself that you just talk yourself into doing things that you're not capable of doing. Eventually, your words will mean much to you. Right. Remember, it's all about programming of the mind. You keep putting these inputs in your mind and you're not accomplishing it. You're setting yourself up to be somebody who's a quitter, who's a failure, who thinks never works out for them. Right. And if you're writing down, act upon it. Please act upon it. Because you not want to see your end results as all being something you never accomplished or you never got done.
And how does that like kind of trigger the mind and our thoughts and process when we actually put out too much and then we don't actually accomplish these things?
Well, remember what I said about our brain is not accurate thinking, it's habitual thinking. So constantly setting yourself up to fail, you're programming the mind and then people there's so many other aspects to it. You can start believing that you're a failure, that you can't get things ever accomplished. And I know people that tend to feel like that in circumstances and situations. So be careful making all these promises to yourself over and over if you're not willing to take the necessary actions.
Stay true to yourself. That's what I get from there, and understand who you are and what you're good at and what you can what you can get done. So that's that. So we're going to wrap up manifestation. And of course, we encourage everybody on the YouTube Live, on IG Live. We have a question box. So if you have any questions on any of the topics or anything we're saying, we don't know everything as well, too. We like to learn from you guys as well, too. So feel free to engage in the comments. Use the question box. If you have no question is a dumb or stupid question. So we want to hear all questions. And if we can answer to the best of our ability, we will do so. So our next topic that we got is dealing with life, and I came up with this one only because your gems of the week essay was very, very powerful in terms of the aspects and different things of life. Like, life as a whole is a blessing. When you wake up, when you're able to wake up, that in itself is a blessing. But there's so much things that come with life, and the things that come with life, we gotta also account for the things also that won't go wrong, but understand that's also part of life.
Well, yeah, the thing, like I just said, life is what happens when we make plans for ourselves, right? It's inevitable. Life is also the gap between the beginning and death, right? So it's all part of it. We got to gather all the experience, the intensity. So that's what I mean by life in general. It is a blessing. It's a blessing to wake up this morning, to breathe, to be here, no matter where you are, right? No matter where you are, you're on your phone, you're able to act. Some of you have worked great. You got to enjoy all these moments, right? And if you're having a bad morning, such is life, right? I'm not saying that to be cruel or anything, but such is life. But now think about all those other times that you had good moments, right? Right? Understand, like I just said, would there be sadness if there's no joy? Can we experience both? Can we only experience one, right? The same wall that keeps away sadness keeps away happiness, right? You got to let down your walls, welcome all experiences, right? If you're having a bad day, all your Mondays are not bad. Your whole week it's not going to be bad, right? You got to take accountability, take deliberate action, put it into your own hands, and understand you're going to have a better week. You're gonna make a plan for today, right? You're gonna accomplish something. Your day started out bad. Set a goal, win, right? Take a win before the day ends, right? Don't just walk through life taking these losses and think that's all there is. Your mind is not accurate thinking; it's habitual thinking. What you have repeatedly done and believe. Right? At any given moment, you could change that and have a whole new mind frame.
And there's this quote that comes, there's 86,400 seconds in a day. Would you let 10 seconds out of the day ruin the full day? And I think it's important because they always talk about, like, let's say you had about $100,000 in your account and $10, got out of your account. Are you gonna let that $10 affect everything that you got going on?
Exactly, and it's an investment. You may not be able to make back time, but what it is that you could have got out of that time, you could always get it later. But what I mean, if you, like you just mentioned, if you lose the first 10 seconds, right, you'll not be able to get that 10 seconds back. But maybe if you're able to put in more work before to later feel like you got extra done, you got the most out of you, right? It's not so much as just going through the motions or going through work, right? Getting out of the work, getting the most out of you.
And there's beauty in knowing that there's the future ahead of you, but also living in the moment and trying to. Last week we talked about, like, getting things done today, not worrying about leaving things to tomorrow. Get everything that you possibly can done, and it comes with structure. It comes. We always talk about having your to-do list, having a checklist. I started to actually do something where it's like, when I have things to do, if I know I have to do it at a certain time, I'm using my alarm clock to remind me, putting reminders. And you got to know yourself best to know how you work to act accordingly, especially when you want to accomplish things. Like, I'm a person who wants to get things done and be successful, so I understand what comes with it and what I got to do. Not every day I get up and I'm feeling the same, but I also know at the end of the day I have goals and I know where I want to go. So I'm going to try my best and do my best to get to where I want, and I encourage that for everybody. Now, we always talk about the positive and understand that the negative comes with it. And sometimes I feel like people are bared with negative. Yesterday we talked about when things go wrong, it seems like everything is going wrong. We talked about a little incident that happened to me, and I found it funny. Now, when it comes to those things, when things are just going wrong and it seems like things are just, this is going wrong, this is going wrong. Is there a realization? Because a lot of people like to put blame either on somebody else or put it on themselves. But when those stuff start to happen, what are kind of the steps to kind of ease out and understand to get back on the right track to get positive things to happen?
Once again, same thing with habitual thinking. Just know it's not permanent. It's situational. Let's start separating who we are from what happens to us. What happens to us is what happens to us. So be it. That doesn't define who we are. I'm going to say that again. Let's start separating who we are from what happens to us. What happens to us does not define us. We're not made by our circumstances and situation. We're made by what we do with our circumstances and situations.
Jeez. And it's just funny, she said, especially during the winter. It's always winter time when it seems like things just go wrong. They start with the cars. It's just everything that
compound effect, compound effect. When things go wrong, it starts to multiply. It doesn't subtract, doesn't divide. Just like, whoa, as soon as everything goes wrong, all of a sudden you need winter tires.
I encourage everybody, check the pressure of your tires. Know what you got to do. Check your oil. Do whatever it is. Now it's getting cold. I fill up my tank. I'm not even allowed. When it gets to half, it's getting right back to full. I'm not even waiting because prices are going up. It's getting cold. There's I seen everybody posting this thing on social media where it's like leaving, when your gas goes to empty and then you leave it to do in the morning. And then you wake up in that morning and you're like, oh my goodness, why did I do that? But it seems like it's a habit that everybody does. So, one of those things to put out there. Let's just do what we know we need to do before it comes to time. And then we realize, boom, I need to get these things done. But also, when it comes to dealing with life, how can we deal with the tension of just like the universe aligning? Because we're talking about manifestation, dealing with the universe aligning what we want from life and what life is also giving us, like the bare stuff that we can just be grateful and mindful of. Because that's what I think a lot of people forget, and that's why they curse things out and they let the negatives affect us because we're not grateful for the little things that we have, whether it's like even a shelter over our head, food on our plate, being able to just pay our bills, having a job. Even if you're an entrepreneur, getting businesses, getting customers, having people that come by all the time. And I talk about this because, we're soon about to get into the holidays, and that's also the time when a lot of people do giveaways. And, we also have our giveaway that we're soon going to have to get into. But how important is understanding those things and just being grateful with what we have to deal with life accordingly.
Always in abundance, right? If you're always in the mind frame of needing this and wanting that, it's never enough, right? And I'm pretty you guys heard it all before. You reap what you sow. Same thing as you sow what you reap. It goes both ways, right? But like I said, if you're always in the mind frame, all right, if you're always in the mind frame of needing this and needing that, you're never gonna have enough. But if you show abundance, if you show gratitude for the little you do have, much more will be given. We all experience this. We don't like giving to somebody who's ungrateful. Right, that's how life treats us, right? So you got to be grateful that what life gave you, and life probably gave somebody close to you more than what you got, and they always, and you might feel like you're not a good person. Doesn't mean don't be grateful, right? Like I said, never let your circumstance or situation define who you are. Right, who you are is not based on your circumstances or situations, right? Never.
I was gonna say, also just a reminder to everybody, we're live on YouTube as well too. So feel free, and we encourage everybody, take a screenshot, take a video if you like what's being said or something.
Your engagement, ladies and gentlemen.
Share it out to your story, Snapchat. I see a lot of people engaging. I'm seeing the comments, but let's keep the word and spread it. And if also you are new, make sure you click that follow button on Motivation Mondays Live. If you're on the YouTube, make sure you click that subscribe button. Make sure you like, make sure you comment, engage, like my brother was just saying. And as well as we continue to do these, and we also have our link tree in our bio, so you can check it out. There's surveys, there's so many different things as we'd like to know about the community, how you found out about Motivation Mondays, where somebody shared the live to you or shared the YouTube link, however it is for you that you came to bless us with your appearance right now, whether it's on YouTube live or on the Instagram live as well too.
And the same thing for the YouTube, subscribe, like as soon as you come in, get the algorithm going. Manifestation, how you create your world. That's what it is. When people often come to me and they're talking about things happening to them and this, that, I just say, well, what are you allowing in your mind, right? What do you feed the body? Not so much as already what you eat, but what do you listen to, what do you watch, right? So control your mind, control your soul, control your body, control your visual, control your whole world. Manifestation, everything has to align. Everything has to align, right? You cannot tell me you want more out of life when all the things that you consume are all the things that is not contributing to where it is that you want to be, right? You want to be a chef, your life should be surrounded with cooking and curry and things. That's why your mind should be around it. Understand the world is designed for you to do what it is that you want. If not, and you're just contributing to places that you don't want to be, then, I'm going to say this. At no point in life should your actions betray your words. All right, I'm going to say that again. At no point in life should your actions betray your words.
I want to give a big shout out to Jabril Fresh. He's the head of Get Fresh Company. They've been holding down Queen Street West for the last 10 years, and it's coming to an end at the store location, and they're moving online. So blessing to you. He's been holding it down. It's not easy to run a business for 10 consecutive years, especially in the busiest street of Toronto, which is downtown. So I commend my brother who's an entrepreneur, my African brother too. He's been going down to the motherland and embracing things. Like he was able to do some things with Remy Martin, with Winnie Harlow, Burna Boy. And, he went to the States and dominated there. And it's not easy being a Canadian. I was in LA a couple of weeks ago, and the one thing that everything is coming in common with everybody in LA, they're loving and respecting what Toronto has been able to do on an international standard, like worldwide, not only in the music industry, in the fashion industry, in the clothes. Like, I seen Ben Simmons with Jabril Fresh, they got, the shorts on. Even though there's a lot going on with him too, I found that kind of cool that he was still able to shed light and shed positive to what we're doing in creators. And clearly everybody's doing the right thing, because when you have a brand and it starts getting into the hands of people who are impactful and hold power in our communities, it's very inspiring and motivating to everybody. So, kudos to the Get Fresh Company. I know there's more that you guys have in store that are coming out, so make sure you check them out. Follow Get Fresh Clothing. I know they're moving everything online, and they're adapting to the time right now. It hasn't been easy. They've still been opening up, but kudos to you guys. And I know the future is going to be great for you guys. So kudos to you and the whole team that's out there. No problem, my brother. And also check out his page, man. He does a lot with credit. Like he's teamed up with Amex. I believe it's Amex, correct? So there's a lot of inspiring things, and he comes straight from the community right here on the Jane and Weston. So it's very inspiring to see our brothers who are doing great things from all these communities. And as much as the city, there's so much negative going on, there's the positive that's going on. So we encourage the people to shed light on the positive, see what our great community leaders are doing, and let it motivate you that you can also do, because it hasn't been easy for any of us. anybody who's out here. If anyone said that it would be easy, it would be a lie. Let us know. Let us know the secrets and the ingredients. But I doubt that's the case. Everyone has to put in work, and I commend anybody who's doing their thing that's shedding great light to our community. Now, the last thing I want to leave before we get into our affirmation, we got a couple 2 minutes, is when we talk about life. When it comes to life, right? Is it very important to shed light onto our future, what we have, if it's things that we want in advance, whether it may not come right now? Like, let's say we're staying true to ourselves and we understand that maybe in the next 2 to 3 years, this is what I want. Is it like, what steps would you encourage people to do if it's not like relatable in a year or very soon? Like, let's say you want to buy a house, but you know you got to save money or even understand the market or things like that. What steps would you encourage people to do?
Well, being ahead of the curve, remember, there's no such thing as luck, right? What luck is an opportunity needing preparation. Prepare in any kind of aspect that you can, right? Maybe your plan is next year, right? But you still got to do the little things that you know you need to do. So next year, you should be ahead of the curve. But you got to see yourself past next year, right? So preparation, right? Diligence, dotting your I's, crossing your T's, right? Preparation is something that's nonstop. Times are changing, you got to change, right? You got to see it ahead of time. You got to see it before it's developed. You can't make plans in 2021 of how the world's going to be in 2022. Your plans have to fit for 2022, right? Things change. Be ahead of the curve.
Whew. And that's very important with what we got. Shout out to our Small Touch family. I know she's out on the West Coast right now, Calgary. Just shout out to everybody. Yeah, Edmonton. Sorry, not Calgary, Edmonton. Just on time. I know there's a little time change. I think you guys are. It's probably like 7, 8 a.m. because I remember when I was out there and I had to do, you got to be up early. But kudos to you too and everybody who's taking their brand to the next level internationally, whether it's locally, province to province. Let me get our affirmation ready for the day. I had it up on our computer, but I don't know, my computer, I clicked OK and it just went away. So let me make sure I get our affirmation of the day as we are getting ready to do that. 11:11. We don't make a wish. Or 9/11. Calgary tomorrow. So kudos to you.
2 hours?
Yes.
2 hours. I need to work on my math.
Don't worry, we're good. You're definitely good at your math. It's just an early morning, bro.
It's a numbers game. Learn the numbers well.
All right, boom. So let me get our affirmation of the day. So our affirmation of the day is, I am the author of my life story. I am the designer of my universe. I have the freedom to create any future I want. I choose what I can come. I will manifest the things and work towards what I need in life. So once again, I'll repeat that. I am the author of my life story. I am the designer of my universe. I have the freedom to create any future I want, and I will manifest what I need in life and work towards the things that I want. And I think that in itself, just it's more. We always talk about you versus you, and how important it is. But once you understand that you're in control, I think that's how you can dominate and be, proactive to whatever you want in life. But what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I'm a big believer in like I said earlier, it's not your circumstance or situation. It's not other people that you rely on, right? It's you. You create. You're the master of your universe, believe it or not, right? Take accountability for what happens to you. I don't care if somebody put you in those predicament. Take accountability for allowing them to put you in that predicament. And that's the only way, because people put you in a situation they're not going to get you out of, ladies and gentlemen. People will put you in situations they're not going to get you out of. And if you're going to stay there and wait for them to get you out of that situation, you will die there. Literally, you will die there. You're waiting for people to apologize before you could go act upon your plans and your ideas and actions. Those ideas and dreams are not for you because they're not coming to apologize, right? So if you're holding a grudge, right, learn to forgive. I didn't say forget, learn to forgive. You may not have to deal with them accordingly, but understand based on those things, it doesn't stop you from doing what it is that you need to go. So you are the master of your universe. It's you, right? On this side of the world, right? You're the superhero in your movie. Don't wait for anybody else to come save you. Right? No matter how hard it is. I'm not taking this away from anybody. I know it's hard. Right? I'm not saying, I'm never going to say your troubles don't mean much or it's not that bad. It could be that bad for you. However, it's up to you to make it good. Nobody's going to make it easy for you. Right? People might come along the way, but nobody's going to want it for you as bad as you should want it for yourself. And that's how bad you gotta want it. You gotta want it more than what anybody else wanted for you. People come to me, Max, I want you to help me with this, right? and which is okay. I reach out, right? But I say this: if I gotta convince you to do what you said you wanted to do, then it's not for you. Right? I'm gonna say that again. If I gotta convince you to do what you said you wanted to do, then it is not for you.
Hey, like you said, you're the author. It's you. And also, you know, every book comes with different kind of chapters.
Yep.
You know, some have 10 chapters, some have 30, some have 50. Everybody's life, everybody's story is different. So we got to really focus on ourselves and not care about what others have or what other people have to say or what this person thinks and, you know, how this person looks at us. Now, how do you look at yourself? When you look in that mirror, what do you see? What do you tell yourself? And I think once you practice these things, the other day someone caught me talking to myself in the mirror and I laughed when they caught me. I'm like, yeah, this is what I do.
Yeah.
Like, this is how I get things done. So I find that. Do you find yourself now that you've been doing the gems of the week, do you find yourself talking more in the car, practicing these things?
Yeah, practice. I have reels. I was in the poster, you know. But shout out iPhone. They have this little, like, they do like a recap. And I was using my photos and I did the recap and I'm doing all these test runs. It's kind of funny, you know. And speaking of talking to yourself, I remember when I was working a couple of years ago, and I was talking to myself, and the lady walking talking. It's embarrassing when people catch you.
When they catch you, like,
you look great. She's like, there's only two people that talk to themselves: people who are crazy and people who have what do you say? People who are crazy or people who are looking to make a lot of money. And she's like, judging on the job, also some delivery job, judging on the job that you have. I know. I think, and then she made a joke about me being crazy, and I kind of laughed, and I'm like, you don't know the bigger picture. You don't know the plans that I have for myself. So it's quite funny when you talk to yourself, like, hey, that's just the beginning, you know. That's just the beginning. You got to program. You got to program. You got to program your mind and your body, right? Like I said, at no point should your actions betray your words.
Once again, to our people joining us, we're live on YouTube Live, so make sure you guys subscribe, make sure you like as soon as you get into the live as well, as we're taking things to another level. Week 80, man, we've been doing this 80 weeks in advance. Hasn't been easy, there's been ups and downs, pros, cons, but we're dealing with it in a positive way. We're still here. You guys have no idea what we go through, but we're still here, right? And it's just like everybody else. No one knows what you're going through. Just get things done. And the reality of life is people really don't care. Like when it comes to getting things done and the you know, like, you know, people just don't care. If you have a task and you have things to get done, they don't really care what you're going through. They just want the job done. If they're paying you for a service or if they have you to handle something, yeah, things could be happening, but in the reality of life, people don't really care. It's about getting things done. That's why you need to be the only one who cares about what you need to get done. Yeah. And that's why it's so important. You know, you're the author, you versus you. And that's why we're here. Kudos to our brother Max, just helping us make the uncool cool. And this has been a real cool journey. I was telling you yesterday, bro, I've been going through some hard stuff, but it's like this, having the conversation and being able to look at somebody and even having the quotes and the gems of the week coming, you know, consistently, it helps a lot. You have no idea. So I always got to give my brother his flowers and to you guys, because we're not able to do this without you guys. You guys are helping us, subscribing to the YouTube. I know we just got to, I believe, 100 subscribers too. So I was telling Wave yesterday, we got 900 more, but we're going to keep going. You know, I'm going to get in those WhatsApp messages. I'm going to go on the Telegram. I'm going to do what we got to do to spread the word and even, you know, keep it going out there with what we're doing. So kudos to you guys for supporting, and we appreciate you guys. Our last topic of the day. So first we talked about the power of manifestation and what comes with it, dealing with life, and now we're gonna talk about basically ending off the year right. I remember when January came and we did our numbers, and here we are, November. It goes. Like, you'll be surprised. I remember January vividly, and here we are in October, a couple days left, and November comes, and then that's the last month. But how do we prepare to end the year off with 2 months left, but then when November comes, it's going to be another month left? What kind of skill sets, mindset, how should we look over what we've gone through for the year, or even in the last year, to be like, okay, like for instance, one thing I love about when my birthday's coming up on the weekend is I try to think about how was I last year? What was I doing last year? And how am I bettering myself this year so that I can continue in the new year on a high note?
Well, keep going, right? We talk about snowball effect all the time. If things is going well for you, keep it up. And also, I'm going to add this back to where you finish off. When things are going bad, right, the things that you can do, right, do it, right? I know when things go bad, when things go wrong, per se, is that people often want to say, I want to get this right before I can get back to where I was.
This one's
right?
big.
Right? Sometimes that'd be a bit difficult, right? Stay true to yourself. That's what we talk about, the awareness, right? The little things that you can do, so you can remember who you are. Keep on that routine. If something falls apart in your daily or weekly plans, it shouldn't be that place where you stay at. You don't try to fix that, but continue doing what it is that you need to do. I mean, if you're having a bad Wednesday, it's not, I got to fix my Wednesday on Thursday. Now I got to worry about Wednesday on Friday. No, do Thursday's plan. It's the only way. When Wednesday comes back around, or when you have that extra time to contribute to it. So as far as routine and things goes, it's like if you're having a bad morning, it's like, don't let it ruin your day, right? So be it. Stick on track. If you're going to tune into Monday Motivation, watch it, right? So you remember who you are, the sense of routine, like something else is still going for me, right? But going into the end of the year, once again, stick to your plan, adjust, right? Don't wait for the new year. I'm not a big believer of New Year resolution. It's not the changing of time. It's not the changing of year that's gonna change who you are. It's really up to you to change who you are, right? It's not November that's gonna, we like to put these restrictions and time on ourselves, which once again, our actions betrayed in our words, because once we don't fulfill what it is that we said to ourselves, we begin the failure of the compounding of failures, and we don't fail overnight, right? We don't fail overnight. Same way success is not overnight. So each night you gotta make yourself a better person. Work on yourself. Face what you fear, right? Face your fears, right? The things that you're not good at, work on it, right? Work on it on your off times.
Nothing happens before its time. True. And shout out to my brother Junior Alpha Pack, who's in here as well too. Check out his page. He has the Alpha Pack Talks, where he talks about other stuff about, life as well too. So I encourage everybody who's, putting these positive stuff. And I love the way the universe is. Like, even when you go on the podcast, now that we've got to Spotify, when I'm just jumping in and going through, there's so many different people, with different platforms that help you understand life. And that just allows me to understand that the information is out there. It's about you taking the time to educate yourself and, picking what you want to use your time wisely for, to encourage yourself to become that better person that you want for yourself, right? Because it's not going to be for me. It's not going to be for Max Speaker. It's not for anybody else. It's just going to be for you. So once we understand that concept of, doing the things that are right. And, my mom always talks about never, she's like, when you're doing something wrong, she's like, make sure you're doing something that people aren't going to talk about. Because the minute you do something that people are going to talk about, then, you already know better. You know better. So try your best to do things.
When people talk about you, word of advice, wait 2 days or go away. If it doesn't, wait another 2 days. You just become a hot topic for 48 hours. People want something new and fresh, so don't worry about it. The things that we worry about, we shouldn't worry about it at all.
Nah, it's so true. There's been this thing where they started in the pandemic where they would have a calendar of January to December, and they would put stuff that...
The hotter the month, we want new stuff. Humans are like that. We want the new stuff, right? We want somebody new to talk about. So when things go wrong, we just wait 2 days. You'll be all right.
That's
I'm telling you. Yeah. There's something I wanted to add in regards to the end of the year. I forgot, brother. Go on.
We'll get back there. And once again, I see some new people coming in. So once again, we are live on YouTube Live. Soon, we're gradually changing to where we'll be strictly on YouTube.
It's a transition.
Then, strictly on the platforms, which people have been streaming. I see the tags, I see the mentions. So kudos to you guys. Make sure you guys also, there's a follow button on Spotify. Even if you use Apple Podcasts or Google Play or Amazon or Spotify, make sure you guys follow as well too and like. It's so important for us because the algorithm, helps where they put us, and it's easier to find us and have access to us. But I see a couple of people doing us, but we're doing it, man. And shout out to Chef Mark, who's in here too. Has a restaurant called Bukan T.O. You're in here. Shout out to you if you're here for the first time. Kudos to you. I guess I gotta now go check out your restaurant just like that. I'm gonna go check it out. I'm gonna actually do a screenshot so I make sure I check you out. It's all about supporting each other. If you can support me, I can support you. And we don't know each other, but it's all love from the beginning. So shout out to the Small Touch family for always encourage the company and getting things in. I just seen a text message that came in. That means money's coming in. So that's good for me. That whenever money's coming in, I get happy. So shout out to my sis who's tuned in as well too and letting me know what's good. But Haitian food. I've never tried that before, so I'll definitely. Hopefully they have vegan. Hopefully they have some vegan options too. How's that journey been for you though? How long has it been so far?
It's no longer a journey; it's a lifestyle, ladies and gentlemen.
Let's go!
It's no longer a journey; it's a lifestyle. I'm officially there, but I think I'm hitting the 3-year mark. I feel good, better than ever. I'm not here to convert. Nothing against anybody. We all been given the dignity of choice. Do what works best for you. To me, that becoming a lifestyle is what's working for me. I totally understand. For me, I can only speak for myself. I don't understand other people's system and how things work for them. But take care of your body. This does not mean be vegan. This does not mean pescatarian. But hey, vegetables and fruits that I encourage. It's about a balanced diet, folks. Right? You are what you eat, right? When we talk about feeding the mind, right? Feeding the mind, feeding the soul, what you put in your mouth, what you watch, what you listen to, right? These are the kind of content that you need. So exact same things, like what is your surrounding? How are you taking care of your body? It's the only place that you have to live, right? Once you're kicked out of your body, that's it. It's the only place that you have to live. Take care of your body, your mind, your soul, right? Not just what you eat, what you watch, and what you listen to. Turn your vehicle into a mobile library. Right, turn your vehicle to a mobile library, to a podcast. We're on Spotify, we're on YouTube, we're on Apple Music, and we have all the lists, whatever it is. It's not so much. I'm busy Monday morning, I couldn't tune in. Like we said, this platform is from us to you guys. Same thing, what you listen to, what you eat. So the whole vegan lifestyle, that's what it is now. It's a lifestyle, and I feel good.
Kudos to you, bro. And when you were talking about that with the fruits and veggies, it just brought me back to like back in the day when we were in school and they were teaching us about the food groups. They try to show us this, and then they would give us things to go home, and you're supposed to put on your refrigerator, and encourage everybody look at the food groups. And how has it been when it comes to like adjusting? Do you remember the times where you used to eat certain things and you're like adding it into your vegan or getting people to cook that is kind of like a different style? Like for instance, I tried with chickpeas, so I made it a curry chickpeas where I add virgin, and I like it. Before I used to eat chickpeas raw, and I wasn't really a fan of it, and then when I started to sauce it up and add the curry, I'm like, oh, I can eat it. It's not that bad. A lot of people actually don't really understand that there's a lot of vegan things that you'll be surprised when you eat it, it'll taste just like meat. Like, and I'm not trying to make a debate or nothing, but how has it been adjusting?
Well, you don't know what you don't know. I had to go in the whole, I had to step in that lifestyle. Well, it has to be part of you. I totally get it, right? You can't speak on what you don't know. At the beginning, it was tough, not knowing what to eat, and I just thought it was like, whatever I'm eating minus me, that's tough. That's the hard way to go. But, lifestyle, there's restaurants, there's trees. You don't miss out on nothing. You don't miss out on nothing. And I'm going to say, most people tend to like eat with their eyes, right? They see it and they think, I don't want it. Like, I don't think it's gonna taste good. Reprogramming their mind is the same thing. Manifestation. You have not convinced your body that whatever it is you're not about to eat is not gonna taste good. And I had to get that, So I respect, and with that, I've learned to respect other people's culture and their food. Like, it's a huge thing. But yes.
Yes, I want to give a big birthday, a happy belated birthday to Atta. Happy belated birthday to you. You've been supporting us for a year. My Scorpios, say shout out to my Scorpios that are in here. Yeah, and you know what I love about that? Before even I did that, someone in the comments did that. So that just shows you the family that we're building and how everybody is, networking with each other. And, they're in the chef world. Shout out to Chef Amir, too. He's probably in school or class. Or if you can hear me, kudos to him. I seen, he gave the birthday mommy a shout. And kudos to everybody that's just doing what they got to do and aligning and learning to work with each other. I think that's so important, that understanding that we can work together. Not everybody has to just do it. Like, let's learn to work together with everybody. Network with people. And, if somebody else has another business, and even if you're in that, if you're a chef, go try their food. See what other takeaways you can get from that. Everything we can shed can be on a positive light. So, shout out to you. Shout out to anybody who had a birthday. A happy belated birthday to you guys. I know Tashani was in here too. So shout out to you. And, blessings to everybody who's on this journey that we call life. And I love that you said it's not a journey no more. That's a lifestyle. And honestly, I want you to have a video where you talk about turning your car into a library. I've never heard no one talk about that.
Yeah, it's a mobile home. It's when you have free time, when you're stuck in that traffic, right? It's always time to learn. More than ever, greater than ever. Turn on your Spotify, right? And that's an investment, right? Some people, $4.99, $10.99, $15.99 is an investment. It's bigger than what it is, getting that information. It's not so much as just alpaca. There's so many other podcasts on Spotify that you may need, right? You can find everything. You can find everything in this world. You don't need to be at home to be on YouTube. It's a form of an investment. Invest in yourself to become what it is that you need to become. It's an investment, right? Turning your car into a mobile library. Audiobook. You have difficult reading, attention span is not too long. You can just hear the information as you drive. Hear this information.
You hear it live and direct. And to the people coming in as well too, I gotta just remind everybody today, week 80, 80 weeks straight of consistency. Our topics today, we talked about the power of manifestation and what comes with it, dealing with life, and also ending off the year right. To our people that are on YouTube Live, I seen you guys going crazy in the comment section. Shout out to you. We are, we're grasping to that change. So to anybody coming here, we're on YouTube Live as well too. We still keep the IG Live to remind some of you because you may not know, but that's why you got to turn on our post notifications so you're reminded when the story comes on, a post comes on, so I know, right? 80 weeks already, just like that, man. It's surprising sometimes when you realize, like I'm thinking back to even week 1 when we started this stuff. And I remember that's when Serb actually started, and now CRB just ended, right? So it's like, you see how long it's been, 1.5 years, almost going on to 2 years for us, which it will be back in April. But you guys are what keeps us going. Shout out to Max, the speaker with the gems, weekly, daily. He posts his quotes, so I encourage everybody to make sure you're following him as well too. You can follow me on Instagram as well too. And as well, if you have any time you want to discuss, we also have the email button. Shoot us an email, shoot us a DM. We check it, we answer it. So that's just to everybody. We appreciate you guys. We started about at 11:35, so we got a little 5 minutes. But
any questions that you guys wanna take up with me? Anything topics for next week? Same thing for if you're watching us live from YouTube. That's the YouTube camera, right?
Yeah.
Topics for next week, so.
Yes, we encourage you guys, man. You guys have been helping us. So if you have any topics, a small touch, you guys, I'm engaging you guys. You guys are engaging. Let us know if there's anything that comes to your mind or a topic that, came by you or something you're fascinated about that we can, speak about. I know, right? Ty always comes in here and make sure you talk that time, but it's all good right here. It's one family, one love. I encourage people, ask questions. I'll tell you, I would not be here sitting beside Max Speaker now if I didn't, I got just tired of life, to be honest.
Be curious, be curious, childish curiosity. How does this work? How could I do this? How could I become this? It's okay to ask questions. And if you don't have all the questions, we direct you to the place that have it.
And also one thing,
be a student of life.
Boom. And I also encourage everybody, because we have a lot of people here who are doing great things. Track your process, like record certain things. Like you'll be surprised. You'll be able to look back in the future and, it goes back to what we were talking about with that manifestation. It's cool to see Drake post that video in 2007 where you could tell, like when I watched that video, I'm like, oh my goodness, it's not the same Drake that we know now, but it's all about a process. The person you were years ago is not who you are, but track that process so that when you do complete the manifestation or when you do accomplish that goal, you could look back and you have something to like track and compare the two. In a positive way, because comparison is the thief of joy. So I want to make sure I put that out there. And it's crazy. I for a second I'm like, damn, I sound like Max Speaker. The fact that came off my head quick, which is good, because we're programming our mind. I tried to think about it, it came right away. So that was very, very encouraging. And I thought we're gonna check. I know everybody. There's so many different ways financially that we can all grasp to I think there was one topic a couple weeks ago where we talked about that, where we could get more more streams of income and understanding that comes to life. But we'll get into it. I'll look into the topics. I'll put that out there in our stories. Here by Karen, what's up? You made it just in time. We're gonna post this video, of course, on our IG Live, and it'll be up on YouTube, so you can watch
Spotify. The audio we're gonna abstract. Shout out Wavy, shout out T, shout out the whole team, shout out Dennis.
Yes, sir. You know what I mean? We're here, man. Shout out to the Real B as well, to everybody that's here that's coming. But it's coming to an end right here. That's week 80. Once again, I'm just gonna say the topics because we have a lot of people who are coming in. This week we talked about the power of manifestation, what comes with it, dealing with life, and ending off the year right. So make sure you guys follow us at Motivation Monday Live. Click the link in our bio. Follow us on YouTube. Like, subscribe, comment, and of course on all streaming platforms. This episode will be available soon. That is it for week 80 of MCE One Voice of Culture.
It's your boy Max the Speaker.
And we are signing.